Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, come on.
Hey. So listen, I just want to know, I know that you were a staff writer on Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies.
Yes.
Love that. Love that so much.
you.
I want to know how you go from a staff writer girl to playing young Celie. How does that happen?
Girl, writing it down and manifesting and dreaming, but bringing all of the elements of my talent and like things that I've learned over the years together. So I actually auditioned for Grease Rise the Pink Ladies because I was a writer and my boss knew I was an actor, and she was like, okay, we're gonna like try to find a way to get you in there. And when it came to time for me to audition, I was told I was looking a little too old. And this is she meant it with so much love. She was like, we're gonna hire like teenagers, like I think they're like 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, okay, then I guess like that's it. I have to release it. And like the day that she said that, I just was like, I know I'm going to do something big this year. I know I'm going to be in a musical this year. I just know it. I got a call in saying they want to see you for young Celie. So I was like, young? Huh? I just got told, wait a second.
You just told you was too old.
Right.
Want you to be young?
Yes. And I have like, and she was the most supportive showrunner in the world. So when I told her, like, I didn't say what it was. Like, I'm going through this audition process. I have to miss a couple days of work. And she was like, absolutely. Like, let me know what you need. I'm happy to even watch the tape from like a boss's perspective, if anything that you need. And, yeah, and it's so funny. I was actually in the writer's room for Grease when I found out I got the part, like on Zoom, because we were during the pandemic. So it was just like our little faces on boxes, and I get the text from my team, like, can you hop on a call really quickly? And that's either like fantastic news or they're going to drop you off. Right. And so I typed in, like, going to the bathroom, be right back. Went outside, got the phone call that I was the choice. They wanted me to play young Celie, and I ran around the block and was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And I went right back to work and was like, okay, let's keep breaking Act 2. So I think this character can do, and didn't tell a soul.
Listen, I love you because you're a multi-hyphenate like me. Keep it moving.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very much.
Let's talk a little bit about the waterfall scene, because that is the moment where Celie feels reborn and a renewed sense of a rebirth, because she now has found out that her children are not dead.
Yes.
What was that like for you? And did you have a sense of rebirth and renewal filming that scene?
Ooh, rebirth. Yes, because we had to push it, and so many, because it's natural. So we were at a waterfall. We had to stop for rain. We had to leave for different, environmental elements. And I think by the time that we got there, I understood the responsibility that this had, because, the composer Stephen Bray and Blitz together both said this was something that was supposed to be in the original musical and didn't make it. And it's like really the first time we're hearing Celie's imagination personified through song. And that happens a couple of the times later with Dear Gods, but I had to set the tone for it. And it was just so wonderful, and especially to have the other women around me, and they were dancers that helped me rehearse, and it felt like I'd climbed this big mountain to finish it, because it did take a lot of work. It was a lot of rehearsal and choreographing and finding the emotional beats in it, and it just felt like, I kind of like washed away all my nervousness and fear and felt like I'd finally belonged and I'd like gotten it.
You were amazing.
Thank you.
Last but not least, the scene with you, Coleman, and Hallie in that rain.
Yes.
How difficult was that for you?
It was one of the hardest days shooting, and I think one of the hardest days I've ever lived and experienced. Because at a certain point, you kind of meld with the character, and especially with that, I wanted to be so in it and so focused that I was having trouble separating real life from what was happening on screen. And especially at one point towards the end, Hallie rapped earlier than I did, and they didn't tell me. And I don't know if that was purposeful but we had been together every single day till that point, and she left, and I remember looking up and be like, where's Hallie? And they're like, she's gone. And I remember feeling like I'd lost my anchor, and the weight of having to carry, this scene by myself. I just didn't feel like I could do it. And Coleman then pulled me aside and was like, you have to, because this is real life. This is someone's lived experience. This is beyond us as actors. You have to do this character justice. And I just, tapped back into what I was feeling, and the feeling of abandonment that I felt in my own life. And then that moment when I realized Hallie was gone, I just poured that all into the character and all into the moment. And, I think you can see it. Those are real. I was sobbing and just was like, I fully understand what Celie was going through in that moment when the one thing that she had was taken away from her and she's left with nothing.
You are a meteoric star. I cannot wait to see what you do next. You're amazing.
You so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. I so appreciate it.
Girl, don't start crying. You crying on me.
Wow, thank you very much.